emergency battery power continues to be an issue. This is one of those cheaply made, like made in China battery packs, and it's like almost really no name brand, and it has a 4800 milliamp battery, and it will output enough energy to recharge an iPhone 6s Plus or an iPad mini. It won't do a full iPad charge, but you will get at least 50% back. This one had a built-in light, so when you push and hold this button, there is a battery test light right there that shows you what the charge remaining is. But if you push and hold this button right here, it blinds the shit out of you. So it has a little LED light right there. You know, so basically it doubles as an emergency flashlight and a battery charger. It charges, as you can see, with one of those micro USB cables, and the output is universal to anything that you have that's USB. But I need more power than that. Okay, so here's the issue. I obviously use my iPhone 6s Plus as my mainstay recording device. And what happened lately was I realized that I was going to need more power in order, especially to do these car events and car shows and car meets. And I'm going to be making a long video at the Jacob Javits Center come this weekend. So what ultimately I decided to do was to purchase a Mophie. Now, my biggest problem with Mophie is that they really don't have a lot of stuff for the iPhone 6s Plus. Now, they did have some some really good new equipment. Like, for instance, they have what's called the Juice Pack H2 Pro, which allows you to take it underwater, so you can get some good video underwater. Like, say you go to a beach, like I did when I was in Seychelles, or say that you just go to like Florida or something. But $129 for this H2 Pro, and it gives you 70% recharge, which is good enough for most people because the iPhone 6s Plus's battery by itself is already a really good battery for getting you through the day. The problem is when you start recording in 4K, 4K eats away battery life really quickly. It also eats away storage really quickly. Like in 3 minutes, it uses 1 gigabyte in order to store just 3 minutes. Now, as the files get larger, they can be compressed more, so it's never an exact number, but typically a 5-minute video is going to use over a gigabyte worth of space. So they have juice packs, which for the 6s Plus, they do not give you 100% recharge. The only thing they go up to is about 70%. With the iPhone 6, they will give you up to 120% recharge, and that's going to cost you about $150. Now, recently they had released these space packs, they call them, and the space packs are battery plus storage. And those space packs give you an option of not only getting the battery, but you have an option of 32 gigabytes worth of storage or 64 gigabytes worth of storage. So that's going to run you obviously a lot more. Those are going to cost you closer to $200. The 32 gigabyte is $149, and the 64 gigabyte is $199. And these do not give the 6s Plus 70%. They only give you 50%. So on top of being able to dump some of your memory into this space pack, you only get 50% worth of charge. Now, if you were going on like an airplane flight and it was going to be like a 12-hour flight or something, or if you're going on a very long-term trip, none of these space packs make me very comfortable with their ability to recharge. As far as I'm concerned, I need no less than 150% charge. 120 is passable, but I really needed no less than 150% recharge. Like, I wanted to be able to recharge my phone a full time once and possibly a half the second time if I needed more charge. So, considering that the iPhone 7 is coming, I decided instead of just buying the backpack Mophie, I decided that what I was going to do was I was going to buy one of their more powerful storage batteries. So this is what I decided to do. I decided to get a universal battery, and I decided to just might as well spend the money and go all the way up to the 8X Powerstation. So they had two different power stations. They had this large flat one that kind of resembled the shape and size of the phone, and that was $150, but I didn't actually see that one. And then they had the Powerstation Plus 8X, which is more blocky, and it's, you know, smaller than the actual phone. So I decided to get the Powerstation Plus 8X in order to quickly recharge my phone while I'm shooting video, because I really want to be able to make like a 4-hour long 4K video at the Javits Center of all the new cars, because I'm going to focus on specific cars since I am in the market to replace a Cadillac with either a CT6 or XT5. There's certain things I will focus on, and there's other things that I won't. But I had to get one of these things, and I figured that if I got the 6S Plus Mophie back, when I traded in for my iPhone 7, you know, I'd have to probably sell that too. So I figured there was probably no point in doing that. I figured it probably made more sense to just get the universal charger. This way I can charge either my phone, or if necessary, I could also charge my iPad LTE. So this is a review of the Powerstation. So this is the Mophie Powerstation Plus. As you can see, built-in cables, extra USB port. They say it'll take 13.5 additional hours given to your iPad, 18.5 if you have a mini, 83 if you have an iPhone, and 93 for iPod Touch. This is a very, very big battery in here. Let me just see where they tell you exactly what it's got. And as you can see, oh, it's a 12,000 milliamp battery. That's pretty damn big. And it has 2.1 amp high current charging. Now, one thing I will say about this amperage charging, in my car, I bought a 4.8 amp cigarette lighter adapter, and that thing charges my phone really quickly. I had, I think, a 35%, and just plugging it in for like 20 minutes or 25 minutes took it all the way up to 65%. So I have to say, whenever you buy wires and whenever you buy stuff, please make sure that you have a 2.1 amp charger. Some people don't realize that if they're using like the regular 1 amp charging, it'll take twice as long, and they'll miss out on the benefits of the lightning cable's fast charging ability. So here's the thing right here, and I'm just gonna unbox it and show you what this thing is. Okay, so as far as price goes, yes, it was $149.95, and this with tax came out to like 160 something. So here it is. It's a big old block, big block, and it's cold. It's cold to the touch. A big metal, cold to the touch block. Oh, and one other thing I should mention. There was one thing I was already a little disappointed with, because I actually saw this thing in the store. The USB charger that it comes with, yes, it comes with a USB charging wire. And as you can see, it comes in this little pouch. It's a USB charging wire, and it features, you know, a kind of a proprietary end right there. So one side is USB, and I guess that'll support USB 3.0 high power charging. But the problem is you have to plug this thing into an AC adapter. So what got to me was the fact that there was, in this box, there's no AC plug included. I was a little bit disappointed with that. There was no AC plug. Now this thing is it's a big, thick, chunky battery, and that's its purpose. It's a big, thick, chunky battery, and inside it has wires hidden away so that you can you know, plug in whatever you want to plug in. Now if you had just purchased this, it comes partially charged, so we got two lights there. And the one reason why I chose a Mophie over anything else is because I didn't want to get one of those cheap Chinese Mophies, because I actually had a bad experience with one of those. I used it a couple of times, then the damn thing burned out. So I was a little disappointed there. But as you can see, it's a very neat little package. It's got the Apple iPhone lightning cable right there. Everything's all tucked away. And it's a nice rubberized cable. In fact, I wish the Apple cables felt this thick. and protective. Because the problem is, after you use an Apple iPhone Lightning cable for a while, usually right here at the neck, it starts to wear down. So as you can see, there's that cable right there, and there's another USB cable right here, and they're both tucked away neatly. That looks good. So you're supposed to charge it using that port right there, and once you plug it in, it starts charging, and this thing is ready to charge whatever you want to plug to it. So you can plug in right here. You can, if you have like an iPad or if you have something that has a USB port, you can simply just start charging it right here. So 12,000 milliamps is a lot. So you're basically talking about a mobile device. Now, if you're one of those people who has higher power needs, obviously, like if you want to like recharge laptops or something like that, yeah, you're gonna need a much bigger battery. But frankly, I would just recommend that you know, you're gonna need a very big battery if you're trying to recharge laptops. On eBay, they do have solar panels for people who work in the field and they don't have a lot of you know, access to electricity. So if you get a couple of solar panels and you get the ones that can be daisy chained, if you have power needs like that and you're out in the wilderness or something, yeah, you should be able to easily you know, spend a couple $100 and you'll make it so you have access to, you know, your laptop. And if you have like a cellular satellite modem, that'll also help you too. I don't really do work like that in the field anymore, but when I did have a solar recharger that I got from eBay for my phone. So basically this is it. This is the whole thing, and it's ready to charge whatever you're ready to plug to it. This right here is my iPhone 4S 64 gigabyte. And I keep this around just in case I need something to do video camera work with. So if I get like a waterproof case for this, I could definitely take this underwater without having to worry about it, just in case something happened to it. But unfortunately, only the newest iPhones have optical image stabilizers, so you don't really want to use anything less than an iPhone 6 Plus. Some people have asked me, how are your videos so steady when I'm driving and I'm shooting video at the same time? And the iPhone 6 Plus and the 6S Plus both have what's called the optical image stabilizer, and those have made you know, those have made it very easy for me to shoot video, especially while I'm doing other things, specifically driving. This way I don't have to risk my life. So as you can see, the 6S Plus has 50% remaining. So I'm gonna take this plug, I'm gonna slide that right up in there. Okay, so let's plug this in right here to the end, and right now it's at 49%. And when I push this in, yeah, it's hard to work with one hand. Some people say get a tripod. It's like, I ain't got time for that. Nature finds a way. There you go. So look at that. It says it's charging. Let's just watch it for a second. Let's see how long it takes that 2.1 amp charger to push enough energy in there to bring it like to 50 or 51%. Usually 2.1 amp charging, especially if you've got you know, a very powerful battery behind it, usually it doesn't take very long to get yourself up a couple of percents. Ultimately, what you want to do is you want to make sure you never fall below 5%, because at that point, that's when you hit that battery critical area. And when that happens, it's like, you know, you have to choose to go into power reserve mode. Just watch it for a second. Yeah, but it's a very neat package. And it says that there's only one dot remaining, so basically we're really low. So we're gonna wanna charge this thing. And there we go, 50%. That was 50% right there. Let's see how long it takes to get to 51. And then I'll stop the video there. I could update, either I could update the video like later on, or I could, you know, I guess, okay, well, here it is. It says 6:44 p.m. right now. So what I'll do is I'll come back and take another look in a couple of minutes, and I'll see how far it got. Now, the thing is still charging, and this is something I find really interesting. In the instructions, they show that you open the flap and you pull out the wires. And then right here, they show that they want you to plug the interior cable right there. They want you to plug that one into the computer in order to charge it. I guess they figure pictures work a lot better than words in a society with Common Core English where most people can't really read. But at any event, this extension cable that's right here is there just so you can extend the ability for it to plug into something to charge. And in this picture, as you can see, anything that you want to plug into that USB port, you can do that, and you can plug any phone you want in. And it also just shows you right here that you can test the energy remaining in the battery by just pushing that button. But the hilarious thing to me is the fact that they didn't include one of these. Why didn't you include an AC adapter so that I could charge this thing if I didn't have a computer available? See, the problem is, wherever you go, if you have a car, you should always have a DC cigarette lighter adapter, but you should also always carry an AC adapter, especially a universal AC adapter like this that'll charge pretty much anything you plug into it. I really don't understand why they felt it unnecessary or impossible for them to include one. And also, just remember, the iPhone 6 and the newer Lightning devices have the 2.1 amp charging. If you don't match up everything with the right cables and wires, what will end up happening is you'll be charging at 1 amp rather than the 2.1 that you need to charge at. So the best thing you should do is you should use an iPad charger, or you should use all the iPad equipment, so this way you can be sure that you'll have 2.1 amp charging. If you go to one of these little stores and you get some cheap wires or cheap chargers or something as replacements, you'll end up charging a lot slower. So let's look back at the iPhone. I can feel it's getting a little bit warm, so it must be doing well. Now, what is this? 59%, and now it's 654. So that was about 1% per minute, if you think about it, because I started at like 644 and it was at a little under 50. So let's assume that this thing charges at a rate of about 1% per minute. See, there you go, that's 60%. So there you go, there you have it. I mean, it's pretty hard to argue with a 12,000 milliampere battery. And when the iPhone 7 comes, I'll just keep this thing, and I'll keep using it for the iPhone 7 when I go on little jobs or video recording jobs like car shows or whatever, and make stuff for my YouTube, because the thing about it is my YouTube is paying out so well at this point. Until I just want to keep it going, I want to make even more money. So that's just it. This is the Mophie Powerstation. I would like to get one of the underwater cases, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with iPhone 7, because I really don't think I want to get anything specifically for iPhone 7. I think it's probably better if I just keep everything universal. This way I can just use it whenever I feel like it with any device I feel like it.